Bottom line, what started all this? Maybe some jabs at Muhammad. 12 journalists and 2 police are dead because extremists didn't like the paper publishing cartoons of the prophet. Now, you never see this kind of wrath over controversial images of Jesus. And the Catholic League's Bill Donohue has an idea why. Why, Bill?
Well, Pope Benedict, I think, said it very well. You have to have faith, has to be tethered to reason. Once you uncouple faith and reason, you have problems. And that's the problem with radical Islamism. But it's also true that you can't have reason without faith. That leads to problems, too. Look, I unequivocally condemn these Muslim barbarians. I've taken out ads in the New York Times condemning what they're doing to Christians. I also condemn the lack of restraint on people who are perverting their First Amendment rights. In this case, I know it's in England. But by perverting freedom, by choosing the most pornographic, obscene, vulgar depictions of Muhammad for the juvenile intent of insulting them. You know, when you keep doing that, you're going to get a response. Now, obviously, we need to condemn anybody who reacts in a violent way. But there's another discussion here, and it's always lost, isn't it? It's always the bad Muslims, and they are bad. We should put them up as candidates for capital punishment. But why is it that people refuse to listen to what Madison said? He said liberty can be lost by the abuses of liberty as well as by the abuses of power. The abuse of liberty in this country and in England by these smart Alecks who want to take their middle finger and put it into the face of people of faith, that has to stop too. How about some restraint and civility and decency on the part of these people?
Well, you said this particular paper had been brought up before for going too far. It wasn't just a freedom of speech thing. They were getting vulgar. Some likened it to hustler images and all that. But, be that as it may, this is not the first time we've seen protests like this. I think back in 2006, there were protests over the protest and the attacks and free rights and all that, and Muslims who said that this was defaming Muhammad. Would we see that kind of response out of the Christian world over defamations, let's say, of Jesus, though?
No, and the person would have to be deranged. I mean, I've had many demonstrations in the city of New York over the Virgin Mary with the pornographic images and the elephant dung on her, Corpus Christi. I've had Piss Christ, all kinds of examples, and we always do it in a nonviolent way. But I do think we have to exercise a degree of restraint. And I am sick and tired of these brats who come out there and say, you know, Muslims, you just have to take it. Why don't you disagree with Islam and do it in a civil manner instead of basically acting like a bunch of libertine thugs yourself? Libertinism, which is the abuse of liberty as license, always engenders a kind of a tyrannical response.